So I think that we got three cards. I think Atomic. I guess we'll go from the worst to the best. Um, Atomic. I know for sure I've found a line that needs him, but I'll have to go back through and kind of see which one it was. I thought for sure there was a line that needed it, but the lines that like if you mass change into Atomic, it feels like you lose to Nib really hard because not every hand does. Because obviously, you can mass change Furnace in the end phase into Atomic, and then Atomic send back Dust Crow, reset the mass change. But I don't know. I don't know if it's 100% necessary to do that. So it might not be 100% needed, but I definitely think this is like the worst one. But like this card's still like really good. The destroy by battle thing is cute. At first, I think it was mistranslated, and I think the first one I read said that if any card would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it's not destroyed. And I thought that I was like, dude, this is like so good, like so crazy. You don't lose like Regeki. I think it's just this guy is protected. Revive effect's cute, and then yeah, like this card's like pretty good. Dust Crow is definitely like I'm not like this card's really good, but it's just weird that he has this summoning mechanic by having to banish a hero monster from graveyard instead of being a free summon. I know it sounds like not a big deal, but it's just kind of weird. Like I think the summoning mechanic's kind of a little awkward, but it makes sense in the mass heroes are some of the first support in a long time that it looks like they're actually recognizing the Omni hero deck as a deck instead of it just being bits and pieces of other archetypes. So the banish a hero monster from your graveyard is not that big of a deal if you're playing the evil hero package, for example, like pitching the Adusted Gold, which is why Adusted Gold should be played at more copies of Evil Assault still. Not even, it's just another reason because you have the Ferris synergy still, of course. But Adusted basically just puts him in the graveyard for free, and then obviously you can Dust Crow. You can Dust Crow summon itself, and like just the fact that this card can grab this card makes this card good because this card is everything I've wanted in a hero card for probably like I think at least I've been asking for a card like this for like 4 or 5 years. Like as soon as Omni Hero became its thing, I was like, dang, I really wish there was a King of the Swamp-esque effect to grab Poly, and they did one better because this card can also grab Mass Change. So that means they fixed the biggest issue with the Evil Hero support because we had to play 2 Wonder Driver to not use Shadow Mist effect to get back into the Omni line. Now, because this card is so well designed, which is like a good job Konami moment, the Evil Hero cards are just like this is just the best starter in the deck besides the power spells. I don't think we'll ever get better starters than the power spells. I'd actually be kind of scared if we did because these cards are that strong that I'd be scared to see what they make that's better than these cards. But this is just the next best starter, especially post Mass Hero. The Evil Hero card is just became the best starters in the deck. Like they already were because they let you full combo without committing your normal summon, but now it's just even better because we can use Mist as freely as we want. I think we're going to be using Mist special summon effect to grab Mass Change almost as rarely as like using like Liquid Soldier's effect to normal summon something back. Which for me, the revive effect of this card is also really cute. I haven't found a line so far, or I think I have found a line that you do need to use Atomic and Furnace's Graveyard effect for. I just can't remember because I just did the a dusted gold line, and it didn't need that. You leave Dust Crow on field the whole time, and then you mass change that during the end phase. So I'm still kind of figuring out like some of the lines, because these cards actually did change a lot. Because before, some of the hands, like for example, Vion or Stratos by itself wouldn't also get to Dark Law, because these hands had to use Miss Graveyard effect. But now because of Furnace, you end on the old Omni Hero board. You end on Dark Law, DPE, and Favorite Contact. I've been seeing a lot of combos posted in the Facebook group, and a lot of it seems like they're really hard forcing this card, like Omega hard forcing this card, and it makes it so you just end on less disruptions that way. So I definitely think that like the Contrast Hero Chaos end boards, you're only gonna do, most of them are like 2-card combos. Because you still want to end on, I think the trap, having the layered disruption of the trap is just as important as having, is more important than having the Omni target with Chaos. One of the things that's like really nice about being able to play Chaos specifically, because I know a lot of people are asking for an Omni negate, but Chaos does one even better, because Chaos is a target negate, meaning let's say they hand trap us in a way that means we can't end on Dark Law, or they do, and post Justice Hunters, which should be around the time that we get these cards. Dark Ruler No More is going to be a very popular card, and our deck is going to be one of the few decks that can actually negate Dark Ruler No More, because what you can do is you can, when they activate Dark Ruler, you can chain Favorite Contact to summon out another Chaos, which is one of the reasons why I'm thinking about playing 2. And you can shuffle back the Dust Crow and the Furnace back to summon the like another one, and then the first Chaos that you had on the board you can chain to the trap to negate the Dark Ruler. That's like something like really neat. Well, the thing about the I'm just answering that question about a lot of the combos lose to Nib. It just kind of is what it is. Like, the 1-card combos lose to Nib, which is fine. Like, if they know where to Nib, obviously if they wait till the end of the main phase, it does nothing. But because you still end on the trap plus DP, but if they Nib like a little bit earlier, you end on not very much, if anything. For like the combos like a Dusted, a Hero Lives. Obviously, if your 1-card combo is Fusion Destiny, you still end on DPE. But like, the deck feels like it definitely struggles into Nib, but it's kind of always been the case. But the stigma is that if they wait to Nib to the end phase, to the end of the main phase, then it doesn't do anything. The other implication, which it's so cool when they introduce support like this, that's so well designed that it actually, like, it changes a lot of ratios in the rest of the deck, and the main thing is the fairness and the increase. I'm seeing another take. Obviously, this is very a lot of these deck lists and takes and builds are based on, we literally got the cards revealed like 2 days ago, so like it definitely makes sense that people are like not 100%, like, I'm not trying to say this in like a rude way, but a lot of people don't 100% conceptually understand how games of Yu-Gi-Oh are going to get played. And so, like, for example, the take is to cut the vision here, like the fairness and increase completely, which you can do you can do like all of the combos without Ferris or increasing your deck, like spreadsheet combos without interruption. Yes, 100%. But without these cards, you're making it so that your normal summon is very reliant to go through, because your normal summon is going to be Vion most of the time because you don't have another way to summon it. Ferris's text is basically play a brick in your deck, but special summon Vision Hero Vion. That's conceptually what the card does. So you don't want to lose that push, because if you cut these, the benefit is, yes, you play less bricks, of course, but you lose a complete push by removing those cards. You basically just replaced the number of pushes from Vion plus Ferris to now just Furnace plus Vion. Yes, Furnace is very hard to hand trap. They didn't have to make this card that good to where it's really, really hard to hand trap this card. Really, you can just Ash it or Dominus Purge it. I guess you could Gamma it too. That's probably not very real, but like you'd have to like that. That's what's so weird. It's like you can Ash or Purge the Furnace effect, or you could Impulse the card that you searched off of it. But like, I just think that's so good. Like, it's just not terrible for us. Like, that it's a way to Palmerization that can't get Veilered or Impermed. Obviously, Dust Crow or Cross Crusader can, but that's the point of having multiple ways to get to these cards. Like Stratos, like Vion, dumping Mist, a Dust of Gold to Prison, dumping Mist. Yeah, it's just, with the combination of Dead End Prison and Furnace, and obviously maybe more copies of Mass Change, it makes it so where these cards are really bad against us. Like, Imperm and Veiler were already bad against us, but now you can't even reliably Veiler or Imperm the Increase or the Vion, and it stop us anymore. Like, we have a push that's really, really hard to interact with, which might be frustrating for the person on the other side, but like, some of the best decks have been doing that for a long time now. You draw Ash Blossom against Malice, you're like basically crying right now. Like, they're gonna full combo you. Yes, you can Ash them on White Binder coming back, but like, that's just not enough. Against Mitsu Raiziel, which is right now one of my least favorite decks to play against in the game. If you draw Veiler or Imperm, you're going to Veiler or Imperm the Duo Drive. You're going to have to discard another card from your hand for that to resolve. And then on your turn, you're going to activate a card, and you're going to have to discard another card from your hand. So they basically just hand loop you a few steps. But like, the point of talking about that is that like, that's a sign of it's cringe, but it's a sign of a good deck, where like, it's really difficult to hand trap. Prison dumps for cost. The effect of Prison, which is being able to substitute as fusion material, you don't care about that effect anymore. In the Evil Hero version, you actually like needed that to resolve to get to backfire, but like in this version, like, you're really just using it as a foolish that they can't Veiler or Imperm or Ash. Like, I just think that's really, like, really cool that now with this, and of course Mass Changes, it makes it to where there's so many hand traps that aren't good. Now, I guess the disappointing, I guess in quotes, because I don't think it's that disappointing, is the fact that our deck still loses to Droll and Fuwa. I mean, it is what it is. Like, that didn't change, but the deck did get way better into Lancia now that we have a way to search Poly in a different way. So the deck got a lot better into Lancia, which I'm also thankful for, because it was just too much losing to Droll, Nib, Fuwa, and Lancia. At least now we have one less card that we lose to. I think multiple copies of Mass Change is fantastic going first. So I'm going to utilize the advantage of the TCG of having a side deck to place those other copies of Mass Change. I just don't think multiple copies of Mass Change are ever better than any of these cards that it could be, which is non-engine. I think that's just the most important thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is non-engine. And we can play 15 now, which is another thing that I kind of got on a tangent about and never got to answer about how good it is that we can cut down on Ferris and increase. The fact that we get to play 15 in 43, which is a good chance to draw 2, and the deck, 15 isn't a lot for meta decks, but the thing about it is that, like, in a deck with a ceiling as high as Hero, 15 is a lot. Like, Memento is a very similar deck to this deck. The differences are the fact that it doesn't lose as hard to, like, the Charmies as we do, but, like, conceptually, the way the deck is built, we have very similar aspects of the fact that deck plays like a very high ceiling with lower non-engine. Like for example, I've seen lists with like 12, and like 40 cards. So very similar to what we have, but before we got to fit like 12 and like 43 cards. Now we get to play 15 and 43, which is actually a huge deal, getting to play 3 more cards. Getting to cut down the Hero engine to 28 cards, I think, is a really big deal. Another great way that they designed the support is the fact that, like, you should play Ferris in your deck, but if you draw Increase or Ferris, you can still get to Dark Law, still full combo because of this. Yeah, it's a big deal. I'm very, very impressed with whoever was in charge of designing this card in particular. I think they hit the nail right on the head. Like, it's very impressive what they can do when they want to design good cards. That this doesn't even, and that's the thing, because a lot of people want like a Link 1 that, like, no matter what happens, they could Droll, Molcharmy me, whatever me, and I'm full comboing them because I have a Link 1 in my deck, or for example, like, that's what a lot of people want. I don't want that for Hero. I've never wanted that for Hero. This card is just, it's so well designed in the fact that it's not going to make Hero broken. Like, it's going to make the deck feel better, but it's not going to make it broken, which I think is another thing you have to do when you design some of these cards. We do, of course, we will always get more cards. I don't think we're going to get more cards in this set, but I think we're going to get more cards eventually, of course, because we always get new support. This is representative of that new Thunder Giant Retrain. When that card was revealed, I was pretty disappointed. I don't think it's a good card, but it doesn't solve anything that the deck needed. The deck needed this card, but this is what they revealed first. I was like kind of worried, but yeah, they overall they did a very good job. I think I wish maybe the boss monster was a little bit better in Atomic, but the main deck cards are fantastic. Duskcrow being able to get to the Furnace, even though his summoning condition is a little awkward, I just think I have like very, very, very happy about the reveals on these cards. The biggest changes is the fact that when you open a way that commits to your normal summon and it gets stopped, and you have a Destiny Hero monster in rotation, this is why I wanted a King of the Swamp, you can still get to Poly by access of Cross Crusader, grabbing out the Duskcrow, which can then grab out the Furnace. I just think I'm just very, very impressed. Also, all our 1-card combos got better, and our 2-card combos get better, because all of our 1-card combos now end on Dark Law, like Stratos Normal Summon with no other hero card, a dusted, no other hero card. All the ones that you couldn't use fairs before and you have to dump mist now can get to mass change. As well as it's really hard to like interrupt the deck now that it has this push. Because this push, the evil hero cards were a way to play without getting to poly, but you had to play so many bricks to where it wasn't worth it. All we did here was just add 2 cards. Everything else we were playing already. Like, nothing else in the deck changed, which is another huge thing. We don't want to be adding more bricks to the deck. We want to just be adding cards that let us that facilitate that supplement our game plan already without having to play more cards that don't do anything on their own, because we already have so many, and that's part of playing a combo deck. Like, a combo deck's always gonna have that, and if you don't like that, then you probably shouldn't be playing a combo deck, to be honest. It's hard to complain about having cards that do nothing on their own when you're playing a combo deck, which, yes, there are plenty of combo decks that have way less, but our deck is not a tier 1 deck. And most people actually just don't want it to be, even if they say they want it to be. It's just not a good thing if this deck's ever tier 1, because it's very not fun to play against. 2 Chaos is cool. I went into that about playing around Dark Ruler, but it's also just good into breakers, right? Like, we used to play Dystopia for the example of they duster your back row, and obviously you don't want a favorite contact outshining Neos Wingman, because then it doesn't do anything if their first action is duster or storm. Now you can favorite contact out a Chaos, even if you already have a Chaos. Chaos isn't hard once per turn, so if you do summon 2, you do get both negates, which can be very, very nice, especially if for example, like when removal is bad in a format, which, like, I guess right now against Mitsu, like the pure Mitsurugi deck, the Raizio variant, removal is still pretty good, but like against the Mitsu, pure Mitsu decks, removal isn't that great, so you can actually just have another good alternate favorite contact target now to summon out Chaos with. Double Dark Law, I think, is very accessible with the new cards, but like, I definitely think it is cuttable, because as you can see, there's no wake up here. I'm still trying to figure out the extra deck. I think the extra deck's going to take a little bit of time of getting used to, and it's going to take some actual matches, like a lot of matches to kind of really finalize what we want to do for the extra deck. But for now, I think it's fine. I think the Thunder Giant Retrain, which is what this is representative, is also just another option. You definitely don't need to play it, but it's going to be a new card at the time, so I just kind of want to try it out. It seems pretty good. It's also a way you can get to Dark Law by summoning back Shadow Mist that hasn't used her effect yet, but I just don't see that, especially now, like, because the Thunder Giant Retrain was revealed first, and people were like, okay, we can get to Dark Law that way, by summoning back Shadow Mist with the Thunder Giant Retrain effect. But like, now that we have this, it's probably not going to be very realistic, and the Thunder Giant Retrain has the problem of the fact that if you're going to summon him into a board, obviously you don't want to have too many cards around him because he blows up the whole board. And if they let you get to poly, you probably win anyway. It's like one of those cards that, like, it seems like it'd be good at like a regional or like a YCS where people don't know what you're doing. But once people understand what you're doing, they're never going to get caught by surprise on that Thunder Giant summon again, and it doesn't seem like it's a very good option. So I definitely think it's cuttable. 2 cross always. Dread could be cut, but it's still something you can do without getting access to a fusion spell. Infernal's mandatory, and now we get to play 1 Wonder Driver. 2 Wonder Driver is really cool, but like it was cool. We could find a way to make the evil hero cards work, but now we don't have to, because again, this card's so well designed that we can use Miss Graveyard Effect very often. Atomic, I think, is... I'm still figuring it out. Again, I didn't go, like, Omega in-depth on testing these cards, because these cards are so far away. We could literally not see these cards printed in the TCG for like a year potentially. Like obviously I don't know, but like there's no guarantee. This isn't in a main set. This isn't in a side set. We know that we're getting. Like we're just speculating of when these cards will be imported. So I have a lot of events, a lot of other stuff to like focus on. Like a lot of other content to focus on before we get these cards, because I don't want to get too into it till we kind of have the light at the end of the tunnel. My answer to double poly is the same as my answer to multiple mass changes, and the same as my answer to more of any X card is the fact that anything that you put here could be a card like this, or a card like this, or a card like this. These cards are just never better than more non-engine. Like these searchable engine requirements, yes, it's really busted if you open up poly and you have, and in that moment it is the exact conditional extender you need. The fact of the matter is poly does nothing on its own. I would rather more Stratos, more Ferris, more Adusted, more Evil Assault, all those cards before I would want to play more of a conditional extender that does nothing on its own. I think non-engine is just so important, and the more we can fit while not messing up the ratio of seeing starters, diluting your bricks, which is why I'm usually at that 43 sweet spot in a lot of my hero lists. That hasn't really changed. It hasn't really changed. I really want to play 43, 44 cards to where I don't see some of these bricks as often, or cards that do nothing on their own as often is probably a better way to describe them, but it's just never better than more non-engine. Droplet is gonna... you don't have to pay too much attention to the non-engine, because of course this could be a year away. We really just don't know when we're gonna get these cards. Prulia will probably have another reprint by the time we get these cards, right? Like we don't know. It's hard to say if this deck is going to get better in the format because of these cards. Like the deck, okay. Well, the deck did get better, but if it moves up in a tier, it's going to depend on how popular this card is in the meta. This card is in the meta. I think Fuwa's always going to be in the meta. I just think this card is just that good. But there's a lot of answers to it. And probably this card in the meta, it's just going to depend on the meta, or if this deck is going to be able to find its performance, which is basically the same as it is now. But I think that's a good thing, that this deck can be stopped, because if this deck couldn't be stopped by cards like that, it'd be very frustrating to play against, because you have to remember it's a two-player game. Yes, there are so many decks that are horrible to sit across from, but we don't want... I don't think Hero wants to be that kind of deck. It's really cringe if we get to set up our end board, but like same with like a lot of other decks. So like that's not really a problem. It's just the fact that when those decks feel like they can't be stopped, like Malice, for example, that's when it becomes like a really frustrating gameplay loop. Let's see. So I know I've got a few questions like, why are we still playing Evil Hero cards if there's no like fusion spells or anything? So I guess I'll just kind of show off some of the combos. Obviously, if you open just a Dust of Gold, it loses to like every hand trap. Like kind of like how if you open it, which is well balanced, is that if you open a 1-card combo, you should lose to a hand trap. So then we're gonna so pretty much pretty easy. We're just gonna EA out this, and then we're gonna normal summon. This is going to dump Malion Summon. We can use Vion's effect, Banish, to add Polymerization. Now, it's important here to not link these away for Infernal first, just like it was before in the combo. You want to make Cross first, which is why these combos can like lose to Nib kind of hard. But you need to summon Cross first so that you keep your warrior monsters. Summon back, effect. This is where you're going to grab Duskcrow, which is where the new support comes in handy. Then you link these away up into Infernal. Infernal adds Neos. This way, if you do the combo, it's weird for them to nib you at any point because you're going to always keep fusion material in hand, so you can still end on something if you get Nibiru'd. So then I'm going to summon out the Duskcrow. Just make sure you don't banish the Mist or the Mally. You can banish the Cross because it actually just does not matter. And this will grab the Inferno on summon. Next, what you can do is you're going to reveal the Furnace, which is going to add the mass change. And then we're going to discard the other card in our hand, and we're going to keep the Furnace in hand. We can go Poly, fuse 2 heroes with different attributes. For Sunrise, Sunrise effect will search Miracle. Now what we can do is Miracle. Like, one of the things I'm seeing people like hard force here. I'm seeing them. Well, obviously they did the combo in a little bit different sequencing, so they had both Masked Heroes in Graveyard. They're hard forcing the Chaos, which I think is a worse end board. So we're gonna banish 2 elemental hero monsters with different attributes to summon out the Infernal Rage. Infernal Rage will grab out the Trap card, because I still think this is the best end board. Like, I don't think there was ever a problem with our end board. It was just the fact that it was hard to get to. Then you link these 2 away. Up into Wonder. Then you could banish Mally again to summon out here. To reset Polymerization. I like making DPE. Of course, what you could do as well is you can make Chaos instead. Because like you could reset Miracle Fusion, and you could, like I said, you could do the combo just a little bit differently, and you could end on Chaos instead. But I just think the recursion of DPE being always coming back every turn, and he's really hard to like interact with, especially post Bestials. I still think it's just the best way to go about it. And then you have your standard end board. The weird thing is, like, you have like a lot of combos, you banish the Infernal Rage, but in this one you don't. You still haven't used Furnace's Graveyard effect to come back. So that's one thing you can do if you want to. You could use Furnace's Graveyard effect to come back, and then do this during the end phase, and then reset this. The thing about Atomic, though, is that, like, it's so weird. It's like Atomic doesn't do anything. It's weird. He literally does nothing. You could end on him if you want to, and he's a 2600 body, but like, you also just don't. I don't know. I think it's weird. It's up to you if you want to play it or not. But his art does look cool. So that's kind of one of the things. Like I remember I did the combo wrong, and I was like, I think you need Atomic, but now I've been figuring out the combos, and like, I don't think you need Atomic at all. So I probably think you don't need to play him, especially because the extra deck is going to be kind of tight with the Charmies. So we're going to go here. Stratos will grab a Dusted. A Dusted will pitch. It took me like 4 tries to figure this out. Kind of annoying. I can usually just like look at it and like figure it out, but like that's what's so interesting about the new cards. It's not like super straightforward. We'll dump Mist. Mist will search the Vion. We will normal the Vion. Also, I'm pretty sure, no, this gives them, if they Perulia you give them 2 draws. So Perulia becomes a lot better against this deck because of Duskcrow. Dump the Mally. We're going to banish to grab Polymerization. That's what I like. That's what I like about Furnace so much. Like, if you need the hero monster, you can keep it. If you don't need it, you can convert another card in your hand to keeping that monster. I guess the only thing that kind of sucks about this combo is you're not able to keep another hero monster in your hand to play around Nibiru at this point. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can't even nib you yet. If they're only hand traps nib, and they like Nibiru you here, you got to the trap card. And the trap cards like can do something, you know, like it's like still like you're still chilling. We tribute to search, and then we're gonna banish, summon out malicious for your monsters. When doing this, I would always summon Cross Crusader to the middle zone. That way, no matter where you do your placements, you can't mess up the combo because Cross Crusader is going to stay on board the entire time. Because you're going to mass change Cross Crusader at the end. This will revive back Mally. Tribute Mally. Sir Dustcrow. We'll summon Dustcrow by banishing out anything. Because it actually doesn't matter besides obviously if you banish malicious it matters, but we'll search Furnace, we'll reveal Furnace, we'll search Mass Change, and then we'll discard another dead card in our hand or a live card, doesn't matter, it's still worth it to go for this board. Then you link away these two into Wonder Driver. Oh fuck, this clipped. Banish, summon. This will reset polymerization. Fuse these two hero monsters into DP. Like, that's the thing. Furnace could have been a low level, but like they made it a high level, so combos like so far nothing has felt like the evil. Like yeah, like nothing has felt like the evil hero cards were like this was a rock monster. Like why the fuck is it a rock monster? Nothing with these cards feels like that. Yes, like actually, this is the best design card for hero I have ever seen. It is perfect. Okay, anyway, go back to this. Then we can miracle banishing out the two mass heroes because I can promise you, every single person you play against is going to pick up Chaos, and they might pick it up and read it and still try to tell you can't do that because Miracle summons an Elemental Hero Fusion monster, and this clearly says Contrast Hero on it. It's the first line. It's the first line. But I'm telling you, everyone's going to do that. Anyway, so yeah. If you open a Hero Lives, and, if you open a Hero Lives and 2 discards, you end on the full board plus Chaos. Like, that's just so cool. Like, I don't like, it's so good.